Well, hello everybody and happy Wednesday, our final call for our first book of 2018. So I'm really excited. I think a lot of people have had some revelations during this time frame. I know I certainly have. So I'm excited. What we talked about last week was in these last 6 chapters, I wanted you guys to come to this call prepared and ready to talk about, something that really struck you in the book. Maybe it was the last 6 chapters, something that's really just resonated with you, something that's pushed you to kind of change, go outside your comfort zone, whatever it may be. And let's just kind of talk openly and just, speak freely. Of course, this is a safe place for all of us to be. And, let's just kind of get to it. So I'm going to just randomly pick people. So since everybody kind of moves when it's on my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Norma. No, Norma said no. Norma, come. Hang on, you're on mute. I can't. All I see is your face doing this. Hang on. Let me get you.
Oops, sorry.
There you are.
Have somebody else do first. Let me organize my little thoughts.
Then here's what we'll do. I'll go first. How about that?
There you go.
So yep. Out of all the book, of course, I've already shared with you guys, there was a lot of it that I felt was a little bit repetitive to some things I've read before. But one of the things that really stood out for me was in these last 6 chapters, which was PGS, Personal Growth Status. Boom, right here. You know what you need to do. You've gotten past all the bullshit. You're ready to move forward. You just can't get there. That's what's kicking my butt. Like, I know what I need to do. I know I need to move forward. But that PGS thing was just like, and the thing is when you read about it, it's like that is the most challenging and the most awful thing that can happen to you at all is because you're stuck. You're not doing anything. You're treading water. And I think it's even worse because it's frustrating. I think many of you probably feel the same way because I'm having conversations with a lot of you and you know what you need to do. And we start to try it. We start to do something. Maybe it's new. Maybe it's kind of unique. Maybe it's something different than what we've done before. I know that's kind of with me. And then maybe it doesn't work as well as we'd hoped. Or we get a challenge. Or we get a setback. And then we go right back to our comfort zone, right? Right back to the familiar place. Let's just do the same thing we've always done. And then we wonder why we're not getting anything different. And I don't know, I see a lot of you guys nodding your head, so I'm guessing you're all in the same boat with me. But that was my biggest revelation was then I kind of used what I got from the Secret Code of Success, which was how do I get myself out of them? I've got to ask the right questions. Why am I able to follow up? Why am I so good at moving forward with action items that need to happen? So it really kind of resonated with me because even though I knew it, reading it really just like sunk in my head last week when I was reading that. I was like, oh my gosh, that is a big area of my life that I need to kind of work on. So for me, that was my biggest takeaway was I need to figure out how to get out of PGS because it's obviously kicking my butt, right? So Norma, do you feel ready to go yet or do you want to wait? Okay. All right. Go, Norma. Let's get you off mute.
Okay.
There you go.
I've read this one before, and I just, the thing that gets me is the same kind of thing that you do. It's like I get stuck, and I've been finding that I've struggled with the catching myself saying the negative stuff, like you said, going, and you're working on it and you got your stuff going and you're doing great. And then all of a sudden you have a day, a moment, something, and all of a sudden those things start coming back in, creeping, and then all of a sudden you're back where you started and you're like, what happened?
Yeah. I
hate that. And so I've really, really been spending a lot of time this week consciously being aware of what I can't believe how negative my brain still is. It makes me crazy because I don't see myself as a negative person, but man, I talk negative to me. I may not talk negative to other people, but I talk negative to me really bad. It's horrible. And I caught myself this morning. I was reading something this afternoon. I went, oh my gosh, I said exactly that to myself. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I can't lose weight. one of the first things, and I've been saying that to myself since May.
Yeah.
And guess what? I put back on all the weight that I've lost. Every single pound.
You know, you created your own destiny, right?
I
you
did.
And it happened.
And I was like, oh, I mean, I almost started panicking and about ready to throw up. Because what happens, I mean, now I feel like a fraud, right? Because, and so how do you talk to people when you feel like a fraud?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it was like, you have to change your mindset. You have to change that little brain, because that's what happened.
Well,
that
you know,
is what
and
happened.
on a good note to that, Norma, just to kind of bring it on to the whole Plexus thing, is being honest about that with people, because people go through things where they think it's a magic pill. Plexus is amazing, but you still have self-control, just like life, right? Just like God gives us, you know, free will. It's the same thing. You can eat like crap. Plexus isn't going to take it away. I can go to the gym every single day, but if I come home and have a double Western bacon cheeseburger, French fries, and a milkshake, it's not that the gym was bad. It was the girl that was doing it was bad. So, I mean, sometimes it's good to have that story though too, Norma, because you're able to share that with people and you're able to have empathy with them, because we've all gone through it. There's very few people that haven't gone up and haven't gone down and haven't done this. We don't do it as much, I think, with Plexus, but I think we've all gone through it. You know, especially when you start to feel like things are slipping, and then next thing you know, you're slipping a little bit on taking your products regularly, or you're not eating as clean as you used to. I mean, I know that was my problem. I mean, I sat there and I weighed myself this weekend, and you know, and I've been up and down the same 5 pounds for like the last 6-7 months. And I'm sitting here looking at it going, oh my gosh. And then I look at the picture from when I went Emerald, and I'm like, where'd that girl go? Like, I didn't do anything amazing to be that girl, but somehow I allowed just one choice after the next choice after the next choice to be back to the girl almost that I feel like I was before I had the metamorphosis, right?
Right, right.
So just realize it's a great way to empathize, because then when you see somebody start struggling, oh, I'm putting on weight, you can always ask, just like you know you weren't eating good. Right? It's not because you were taking Plexus and being perfect with your diet that you put them back on. We all know this. Right. So at least if you're honest with them and say, look, I kind of went through the same thing, and it's just a remembrance that even if I go to the gym every single day and I don't eat well, the gym isn't the problem. It's not Plexus that's the problem. It's what we're putting on the end of the fork.
Yep.
Right?
And it's what I'm telling myself too. Because telling yourself, if you're talking, you know, like that to yourself, then obviously you're going to make the wrong choices. Mm-hmm. Because that's my comfort zone. It's like, oh my goodness, I wasn't out of my comfort zone long enough to be secure in that. So that's, I don't know. This was a really, really, really good book to start with. I appreciate you picking this one, because for me, this has really been an eye opener. I mean, even though, I mean, I think you can read a book a million times, but there's always a light bulb moment when you go back and you look at something, or you haven't been practicing it, or you haven't been doing that, you know. I'm really, really thankful, because I've just come leaps and bounds in the last 3 weeks. I mean, it's amazing, because you know, stopping myself. I mean, this afternoon I did the same thing. I started to say something in my head, and I caught myself and went, wait a minute, where'd that come from? Stop it, change it around. You know, I lose weight really well, you know, the rest of the pieces. So yeah.
Well, and you have to be able to speak to yourself like he talks about, speaking to yourself like you would a good friend, right? And sometimes you need to pull your own head out of your own ass and tell yourself, like, pull your head out of your ass, Norma. You know that part of it is because of what you're putting on the damn fork. But then sometimes you need to be able to give yourself a little bit of slack. You know, it's like, it's okay that I took a bite of cake. The world's not going to stop. Everything's going to be fine. Get back on the bandwagon. Thank God you took your block. Right?
Exactly.
So awesome. Very cool. All right. I'm going to go. Let's see. Next. Irene, can you pull yourself off of mute? There you are. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi. So I think what really resonated with me on in this book the most is, you know, even though I did affirmations, I would still find myself using things like, you know, I know I should, or I need to do such and such. And I think that now I catch myself actually saying that, and I'm like, oh wait, that's my negative self-talk, you know, and I didn't realize that it was actually negative at the time. But the other thing that really resonated with me was because, like, here in the last year, part of I think that I was blaming on the setbacks, right, in my life kind of thing was my job. So I quit my job and moved to another one. And there, of course, the grass is never greener on the other side, right? So what I found is like, I'm dealing with a bunch of people that are in a negative mindset, and I'm like, okay, so I keep trying to catch myself. And, thank God for, the book and recognizing that, because then whenever I start getting in that negative mode, I catch myself and bounce back faster, but I think that's one thing that I think really stood out to me, because I was like, I think it's really how I was approaching dealing with the negativity around me, that I wasn't realizing was stopping me, I guess, kind of, I was using it as negative self-talk.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's the big thing too, that I think a lot of us talked about in a previous call, was the shoulds, right? I should do this, I should do that, and we should all over ourselves, and we get nothing accomplished and nothing done. And I think that's the biggest self-defeating talk we could have, is if you should, then you do it, right? If those even words, but again, it's not going to be instant. It's going to have to be a constant thing. We want it in our lives, we have to make it a habit. So just keep remembering, as you get those, don't beat yourself up that you didn't go from point A to point Z all in one day, right? Let's just know that each day you're getting better and better, and you may not be where you need to be, but thank God you aren't where you used to be, right?
Exactly.
Just keep telling yourself that. Awesome, Irene. Thank you so much. I'm going to go with Juliana.
All right. So I had last week come up with, my issue is taking action, right? And I struggle with that. I'm like frozen, just like Tushy, like you were saying. And so I broke it down, because that's busy work, right? To the belief in myself and momentum and my fears and all that crap. And today I finished the book, and I'm like, I just got to do this. So today I went through and I broke it down, and I started recording the affirmations. And I actually found this book, which is like a sequel book, and it has like tons and tons of affirmations like written in it for different, like this one's for family or relationships. There's like some for health and fitness, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So I grabbed the ones like for self-belief and confidence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I recorded them, because I'm telling you, when I read the book the first time and I recorded affirmations and I listened to them while I slept, things moved, things happened, because that belief in myself happened, because I'm telling myself I can do this, and this is my goal, and I'm reaching my goal or whatever. So I recorded those so I could start and do it, because I know it works, because it worked before. And it's that taking action. That's where I am so stuck. I know what I need to do. I know what will happen if I do it, and I'm just like frozen. So.
All right. Well, the only way to get momentum and movement is to start moving.
Yep.
Right. Every little inch that you take in the right direction.
And even a baby step is a step in the right direction. It's
right.
And not stop and start. You got to just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And
good. Well, and you took a good big step today doing that action. That's going to be a big help, because, the thing is it's hard, and we beat ourselves up about it because we have this great idea of what we need to accomplish. And if you guys are like me, you're like, okay, I need to do this. And you write out all this stuff, and you're like, okay, I need to do my IPA every single day. And I need to get this done, and I need to get that done, and I need to do. And that works great for maybe a day or two. And then shit happens.
The road to success is very simple, but it's not easy.
No.
We just got to do it.
Well, exactly. And then the thing is we don't do it maybe on day 3, and then we throw in the towel.
And then we tell ourselves, oh, well, nobody wants this, or it's not working, I'm not successful. And then you have that little voice. You got to just keep going, even when you're not feeling it, even when you're not seeing success yet, because you have to.
You overcome.
Yes, you got to be consistent to get that success.
Right, exactly. Awesome, Juliana. Thank you. All right, Miss Kimmy. Let's get you off mute. Do you need help? Can you do it?
I did it.
Okay, awesome.
So For me, these 6 chapters, actually, this from where I started when I joined you guys, this book, it's just been a realization that I'm done being comfortable. Like I kept telling myself, and no longer I need to do this. It's I am doing this. I like doing this. I like working out because I like the way it makes me feel. I mean, I do. So it's just this book got me back on track to where I was, I want to say, prior to losing my mom.
Good.
It put me on hold for the longest time, and this book gave me the what's the word? It gave me permission to do everything that I know that I need to do. And so this week, what I have realized is I actually am putting to work what this book is teaching us. I actually am catching myself where I would have been more negative about something and said, nope, I'm not hungry. Nope, I don't want a snack. I'm actually, really good. I had to get up at 5:30 this morning to be on a call at 6 o'clock because my client's in New York. The old me would have thought, oh, it's nap time. I earned the right to take a nap today. I haven't napped. I haven't slowed down. I haven't stopped today since the time I woke up. And I know it's everything that I'm learning from this book.
Well, and I'm so glad, because that's really what this book club is all about, you guys. It's not only just a chance for us to read great books and to put some good information into our head, but it's really a chance for all of us to get together and just reaffirm one another and remind each other how amazing we all are, because not everyone's always telling us that. Especially, obviously, as we can tell from this book, we're not telling ourselves that. So this is giving us an opportunity for all of us to remember and to be self-supportive and supportive of one another, because I love when I see you guys commenting on each other's posts after these calls, and you're just reaffirming everybody and just lifting everybody up, and that's what this is all about. So I'm so glad, Kimmy, that you're getting that, because that's what the intention. Yes, great stuff, wonderful things we're putting in our brain, but this camaraderie, this sisterhood, since we don't have any boys on the group, I can say sisterhood, is what it was all about. Because every week, no matter what, I don't know about you guys, but I look forward to this call. There's calls that I don't always look forward to, but this one I do.
I gave up going to Disneyland because of this call.
Hey, I told her the same thing, so I'm with you. I said, can't go. Sorry, Felicia. I'm like, I can't be there,
And the other thing is, I am a reader. I used to tell myself, I am not a reader.
But you are.
I am a reader.
I love it. I love it. Awesome, Kimmy. Thanks. Erin, I'm going to go with you next. You able to get your stuff off? Do you need me to help?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I got it.
Awesome.
So I still didn't quite finish the book. I'm so close to the very end. I was trying hard. But I went on my Alexa app, and I found out that I can ask her for affirmations every morning. So all I have to do is say, good morning, Alexa, and she goes through her whole spiel. And it's been kind of fun. It's been interesting. So what I find kind of odd is that with all this stuff with my mom and legal things that I had to do and all that, I would do them. I know I could do them. I'd come home, I'd sit down, I'd do whatever anybody needed me to do to take care of her stuff. But when it comes to having that same drive for Plexus, it's a whole nother story, because if something doesn't go quite, like I had a lady really, really interested. She wants to work the business. She's a retired vet. But now I get crickets from her, So then I hear Kenny in the back of my head going, you can't do this. I told you can't do this. But I'm just going to keep trying. And, you sent me this beautiful book. And tonight I'm going to put it next to my bed, because tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to write down what I'm thankful for, and that I know I can do this, that I'm going to do this. I can make this happen.
Good.
So the book was amazing. It really was amazing. And with everybody else, I'm very thankful that that's the one that you chose, because it really sunk in good.
Good.
So,
I'm so
yeah.
glad, sweetheart. I'm so glad. Wonderful. Okay, Marie, are you able to unmute? I know you're just on your phone.
No, I'm actually on my computer.
Oh, just the video.
I just don't know how to turn my video back on, right?
No worries.
It's okay, no problem.
We'll imagine your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you so much. So, it's so funny that Kimmy says that about her mom. My mom passed just about 8 months ago, and her last couple of days left me in a very crippling state, which I was very angry about, and was having a tough time just moving forward. And I felt because mostly I couldn't deal with even having conversations, she was no longer here.
Mm-hmm.
And this book has changed that. I was reading on the whole rewiring your attitude. And, I'm just a firm believer, attitude is everything. And you can either have a positive one, or I could have been stuck in the negative that my mom left me with. And this just really shifted my whole, getting into chapter 18 was like, holy moly, this was what I needed. So, just kind of rewiring that whole either stay positive or get positive or stay negative was very, very big. Also going over goals. Goals can be anything we choose. They could be, small, big. A lot of times we look at, I want to be emerald. I want to be a diamond. But the steps to get there are not part of our daily goals. And so, that was a big eye-opener for me, too, to just get back to basics to make things happen.
Good.
And being specific about fixing some of the problems that, that were going on in my head and in my day-to-day actions. So, it's about, getting things done, starting. Somebody mentioned starting, I think it was Juliana, taking that step and keep moving and, left, right, just keep moving forward. But I think the biggest thing, towards the end of this book was change is a personal choice. It's a personal choice. It's not up to you. It's not up to your upline, any of you to change it for me. It's up to me. And so that's like a big, that was a big, like, okay, I really need to do this if I'm going to continue to get out of that funk I was in.
Mm-hmm.
So loved the book. Loved it.
Wonderful, Marie. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, last but certainly not least, Debbie. Let's get you off mute. There you go.
I, as well as everybody else, the negative, when you think that you're moving forward, and with me, basically with customers, because I'm not having any luck with ambassadors, but that's okay. But you get that negative into your head, like, what am I doing wrong? And you just keep on doing that. So I've been practicing a lot of self-talking to myself lately, and I need to work on the affirmations. But the whole book in its entirety, I absolutely loved it, because it really does make you think about what you're doing and how you're doing it. And there was one little thing here that I read that said, we should not expect ourselves to have a smile on our faces every moment of the day. And then he said, but I suspect that all of us would fare better at life by working at smiling a little more and maybe a lot. So maybe when we're getting down on ourselves and not being positive, maybe just go look in the mirror and smile and say, hey, I got this, and then go back and start all over again. It says, he said also that emotions play a big role in your goals, and they do.
Mm-hmm.
They play a big role, because if you get emotional over, let's just say, not getting a customer or not getting an ambassador, and I know we all have, and probably all will, it makes it worse for you.
Mm-hmm.
So just basically, you're the only one that can motivate yourself, and you're the only one that can come through with your goals and your actions.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, and I think a lot of times people forget that like body language is so much more than just what you see from people, or what you're putting out there. If you're having a bad day, it's real easy to kind of get the slumped shoulders and kind of head down, but it's really hard to stay sad and depressed when your shoulders are back, your head is up, and you're smiling. And there was a wonderful study that was done, I think it was at the at Cal State Berkeley, at UC Berkeley, and it was all about people who had been clinically depressed. And what they had done is they put them in front of a mirror and they forced them to smile crazy for 20 minutes in front of a mirror, enough so that they had the huge, laugh lines and what have you. What they learned is that people were unable to stay depressed. These are people who had been clinically depressed, including one lady who claimed to be depressed even in her sleep. How that's possible, I don't know. But the thing is that just changing the way you hold yourself can change everything about your day. That's why it's so important that if you're not feeling good about something, if you're at the computer, you're talking on the phone, somebody's giving you something that's not working for you, get up, move, make your body move. Emotion comes from motion. So if you don't have that movement going, you're definitely not going to feel it, right? So, I do that all the time because I'm on the phone for sales all the time with my day job. And it's like, if I'm on the phone talking to people, you'll see me, my hands are moving. I've got my headset on, I'm walking around. The more excited I get, I smile all the time. It's the best thing that I ever learned in my first job in staffing. They used to have a mirror on the monitor that said smile, people can hear it. And it's so I do that all the time. And people laugh because I can sit there and I'll be in a pissed off mood and answer the phone and be like, thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah. Yes. And I'm super happy.
Yes.
That's just who I am. I'm like that all the time. I drive people bananas, but I'm very rarely in a funk. So when I do get in a funk, I'm like, oh, I've got to pull myself, out of my what. But it happens. It happens. So let me check here really quick on the chat. Oh, power poses. Oh, I like that. That's really cool, Juliana. And I've always been big on power stuff too, power moves, because obviously you guys know how much I love Tony Robbins, and he's real big on power moves. So before I did a live yesterday for another Jewel. She was doing kind of one of those challenges, not a ambassador challenge, but like a slim challenge kind of thing. It was called a happy hour, and I had to jump on and do my little 3 to 4 minute spiel on my experience with Plexus, with the business, with my health. And I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to say. I kind of knew, right? Because I know what my story is. But I was like, let me give them the right words to say. And I'm moving all over. My husband's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just making all these crazy moves. But I needed to get pumped up and excited because I needed them to feel it, right? And so sometimes we forget, if you're going to get on the phone with somebody, if you're going to talk to somebody, if you're going to, thank you, Debbie, for bringing up the power pose that was brought up at Super Saturday. But if you're getting ready to get on the phone with somebody, even if you're just getting ready to message somebody, get yourself moving. Get yourself pumped up. Do a couple jumping jacks, right? The adrenaline will definitely help. It definitely does. So, guys, I don't want to have to do this to you guys, but I have to kind of run off. I have to go pick up my daughter from Krob. But next week, our new book. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? And it's okay if you didn't finish the last one. Erin, I know you're probably, don't feel bad, you guys. Nobody needs to feel bad. This is not a feel bad place. This is only empowerment, okay? So next week, we're starting the 4 agreements. It's a really easy read, guys, but I don't want you to read too far ahead. I want you guys to think of it like Bible study. Read the first agreement, up through the first agreement, and then I want you to mull on it, okay? That's all I want you to do. Read through the first agreement, and then just think on it. Think on how this can impact your life. How, if I did this, my life could be different. How have I not done this and it's impacted me? I have read this book more than once. It has, every single time I've done something with it, brought out stuff out of me. And because your life changes, you're different each time. And this is what it's going to do for us, you guys. So I'm really, really excited because I think based on what we did with this book, moving into this next one, we're going to see some more exciting enlightenment, so to speak. So I'm really excited for the breakthroughs we're going to see in February from the 4 agreements. So guys, have an amazing evening. I'm going to get this recorded or posted on our group. If you want to rewatch it again, or if you want to listen to it, or if you have friends that weren't able to be on it, definitely share it with them. Okay, guys, have an amazing evening, and I'll see you all next week. All right, guys, take care.